Good evening, Sharks fans. The Sharks end up short of a 2-1 score, and the 3-1. And the Sharks unfortunately fall to 0-3 in the season. We'll have all that and more after this. But first, if you want to be part of the show and Teal together with us, check us out across all of the social media platforms, that being the YouTube chat, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, SoundCloud, Reddit, the shenanigans that go on the Discord, TikTok. Find everything else and more at tealtownusa.com. And don't forget, Venmo at tealtownusa. We love it. Well, I have some special guests here this evening. Mr. Puck Guy, will go to you first, and Dana May also here. But Puck Guy, we're going to go to you first because I know you're going to be kicked out soon.
Yeah, they want us up and out as quickly as possible. Gang, that's a tough one to take for a home opener. Reimer played his butt off tonight. For sure. This place was pumped too. I think they're calling it a sellout, but there was a few empty seats. It was pretty close though. It was pretty close to a full house, and the place. I'll be honest, the place was buzzing a lot. It's just a bummer that the Sharks end up on the losing stick for it. So.
For sure. And I mean, just quickly, what was the atmosphere like with Bernsey, the coming home, so to speak, the on ice tribute? It looked pretty electric down there.
Yeah, they did a heck of a presentation tonight. The on ice projection, of course. Really liked how they introduced the Sharks players into that. Bernsey, of course, got me a little teary-eyed there, to be a little bit honest. When Bernsey got traded from Minnesota in 2011, he was looking for some design work for his Bernsey's battalion that he ended up doing. Had the suite here, not too far from where I'm at, and missed the guy. Great guy. All around, and there were a lot of Burns jerseys. Of course, we saw it if you follow us on the social. AJ was rocking his Bernsey jersey, but there are a lot of 88s tonight, and unfortunately, the wrong 88 scored for Carolina, indeed. But a great atmosphere here this evening at the Shark Tank. It's a beautiful. I know Dana, you've been up here a little bit a while ago. Landy, I know you need to get your butt back up here. Nothing like when this place is buzzing, and I know it's tough to do when you're 0-3 and you're in the midst of a rebuild, but it's nice to be at home, for sure.
Nice. Well, thanks, Puck Guy, for the bird's eye view there, and it looks like you're giving me the signal to head out.
No, I'm good, but I was going to say, hey.
How's that new Jumbotron?
Holy crap, this thing is massive. I mean, this doesn't do justice from my angle here, but when I say literally blue line to blue line, and literally from the face-off dot to face-off dot over there, I mean, it is something special. So, and I'm looking at the chat. Bedard's going to look like a great guy in teal.
Suck hard for Boudard.
Boy.
That's where we're ending up.
Hey, and I know Dana is all pro Borderlow and Eklund to come up. That line's gonna be awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, especially on the power. Yes, on the power play, it's gonna look. Ooh. It's going to be awesome.
Do we have to talk about
Can't wait till 2026 when we finally play Eklund and Bordelot in one game together.
With that, you two have a great rest of the way. I'll be back with you guys tomorrow following Sharks and Blackhawks. Guys, gals, Make it happen.
Thank you, sir. And thanks again, Puck Guy, for checking in with us.
Oh, by the way, do you like the teal suit?
We like
I
the
meant to-
teal suit.
Yes, snazzy.
It looks
So.
pretty dope. I saw your little pictures with Captain Beard. I thought I thought you were rocking it just a little bit better, my friend.
Absolutely. Have a great one, guys. Take care.
All right, have a good one, Puck
You
Guy.
too.
All right, awesome. Well, it was awesome to check in with Puck Guy. And again, just a great atmosphere at the home tank. But we got to talk about a game, unfortunately. Dana, just quickly, what your broad strokes on this evening's play? What did you take away from it, just overall?
I want to give James Reimer a hug. Did I hear people boo Erik Karlsson? Are we going to dig into that?
Well, we might just have to because, unfortunately,
I'm about to pop off.
Yeah, because unfortunately, we've got some power play struggles to go over. So, in that first period, the Sharks would actually pot the first goal on net. It was, there we go. Puck Guys just left us. It was Evgeny Svechnikov. We've got Magna and Karlsson with the assists there. Oh, boy. On this one, it was actually, I liked the drive to the net. I thought that the defenseman did a good job bringing the puck up to Evgeny Svechnikov, and he just had a really good shot on net, kind of one of those heavy shots. But it was kind of a weird opening period. It kind of felt like both teams were probing each other. You know, we had 8 shots on net from Carolina, 7 shots from the Sharks. And, I mean, the goal came at 17:48. Dana, what did you see at the beginning of that period? I mean, to me, it just seemed like, one, you had kind of a jet-lagged team, and the other team not really knowing what's coming out.
If the Sharks were jet lagged, it definitely didn't show as much as the jet lag when they were in Europe. I guess one positive is like they definitely looked like they had more energy. I feel like that was pretty apparent. It was definitely like battle of the PKs. They kept mentioning how these were the best 2 PKs in the league last year. So it made sense. We got a lot of, I don't remember how many penalties total, but that was obviously a big part of the game. And yeah, I don't know. It definitely made me smile to see Svechnikov get his first goal as a Shark, especially playing his brother on the other team.
Yeah, I mean, it was good.
So yeah, it was a good first period.
Yeah, it was a good first period, and I think, like you had said, it was a good. It was good to see the brothers kind of playing against each other, and really, I think it was just pretty awesome to see a family affair kind of going on. And again, I think, we would be remiss to say if we hadn't talked a little bit about the Burnsy introduction, because like I said before, it was kind of just electric, and you could kind of feel the emotion that was coming from the team. And I thought for him, he looked like a guy that I don't know, had a little bit of emotion, maybe a little bit more emotion than kind of what we're used to. So,
yeah,
must have been.
Yeah, I didn't know that man had tear ducts. That's what I was thinking when I saw him tearing up. I'm like, he's just like, I don't know. I teared up, definitely. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously he was a big part of the team for like, what did they say, 11 years? Yeah, since 2012. So 10. The Burns trade was in 2012, right?
Let me double check, but I believe you are
correct. Something like that, whatever. But also just, he has just this infectious personality, like goes without saying. Like personally, I've never met him. I don't think I've met any of the Sharks, but from what I hear from people who have, he's just like the most like friendliest, like funniest guy, like always happy to like, sign things or take pictures or whatever. And like, I will say I was definitely team trade Burns last year, always on Starfish watch. But We're definitely going to miss him. And the team has, a huge hole in it, like personality wise. Like, it's not going to be quite the same, but it was a good package. And I like that, like, art they had of him, that kind of drawing by, I'm guessing the same person who did those like authentic fan signs. Anyway,
Yeah.
it was sweet.
Yeah, and we've got a couple people chiming in here. It still feels extremely weird that Burns isn't in Teal anymore. Yeah, I mean, I think for everybody it was kind of surreal just to see that moment pop up with him in a different jersey. But so it goes, It's a business, and unfortunately, the team needed to get some cap relief. I think there is a lot of debate on whether that cap relief was used to the best, of what was available free agent wise. But that's a conversation for a different day. But again, I think the Sharks weathered a little bit of a probative first start, and then we kind of dovetail into that second period. Of course, both the Sharks and the Carolina Hurricanes would go 0 for 1 on their power play in that first period. But going into the second period, really, it was a complete onslaught by Carolina. I mean, this was where I think we all wanted to jump inside the TV and give James Reimer a big hug, because James Reimer faced 17 shots on net to the Sharks 4. And this frame is really when Carolina kind of took over and really put the pedal to the metal and showed why they're a Stanley Cup contender, because there was pressure after pressure after pressure. The lines 1 through 4 from Carolina looked like they were all playing from the same playbook: dump and chase, grind, then get some shots off from the slot, maybe get a kick out here and there to their defensemen. But again, it was just men against boys out there in that second period, and I couldn't believe how well Reimer stood up to the onslaught. I mean, what did you see in that second period, Dana? Sharks in the headlights for sure.
Yeah, Reimer was very sharp tonight, and makes me sad saying that, because I mean, if we're skipping ahead to like that very last goal, like, feel like he didn't really have a chance, and I could see his disappointment, and I'm just like, buddy, we see that you did your best. But yeah, see, the thing about like tanking for, those of y'all on team Bedard and Teal, is you have to have bad goaltending. And we just don't have that right now.
No.
Which is, I mean, it's nice, but at the same time, yeah, I don't know. And maybe, I guess Reimer was a Hurricane not too long ago, right?
Yes, I think he had a stint in Carolina. Mm-hmm. I think right before or right after his Toronto stint. I think if memory serves.
Before San Jose the first time, and then I know he went to Florida, but
yeah, we'll have to get the details of his career up, because I don't remember off the top of my head. I can't remember if it was he went to Carolina. Okay, well, here we go. Carolina in the 2021. Okay, so 1920 season and 2021 season, he was in Carolina right before the second stint in San Jose. So I think it went Toronto to San Jose, then Florida, then Carolina, then San Jose. So
okay.
Yeah. Again, this is a guy who is gonna have some trade value come the deadline, and I think
or earlier,
because if you look at this game kind of encapsulated. I mean, this is the kind of performance that Reimer is going to give you, where he's going to really stop, an inordinate amount of shots, and let's just say that the Sharks, can tune up defensively just that little bit better. I think this could really be a good goaltender for a structurally defensive sound system. And unfortunately, his talents are wasted here with the Swiss cheese defense that we have kind of employed at the moment. But again,
Yeah, it's just such a shame because I feel like this game did not get away from them. Carolina's a top team in the league, and ignoring the shot clock, like, you'd think like, oh, can the Sharks pull something out here? But the chickens came home to roost.
yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, when you say like men versus boys, I definitely saw that. Like only when like Hurdle or Kutcher or Meyer had the puck was I actually like, oh, okay, something might happen. Or Carlson, I guess. But otherwise, I was just like, I don't know.
yeah.
I
Just
guess there's a lot of new people still feeling it out, but
yeah.
not a lot of firepower.
I mean, I think one bright spot was the fourth line tonight. They did get that goal, and I thought that they looked decent in the offensive zone and looked credible in the defensive zone. So, I think it's a line that could kind of hold its own, and we haven't said that for a fourth line in a long time. But goodness gracious, if I'm talking about the highlight being the fourth line, it wasn't a great night. Because in that second period, Martin Nikas, with his second goal of the season, the other Svechnikov, gets the assist at 1937, and this one was just a heartbreaker because you had basically 23 seconds to get into that second intermission with the 1-0 lead. And now Carolina completely deflates the building with that late goal. And I think it just kind of turned the tide from that point on. I think at that point, that's really where the Sharks kind of let the game slip away. But again, not clearing out a puck in front of the net, ending up with a guy who is a goal scorer, a proven goal scorer, and he pots it in. You know, on this particular play, I'm kind of faulting the defensive alignment from the Sharks in general. They looked out of place. And again, it was on a giveaway from Kevin LeBanc in the neutral zone. And look, you can't give it up when you're in the neutral zone, in the, let's say, the first half of the neutral zone by your own defensive blue line. You just can't give up the puck there because it's an immediate comeback the other way. And the Canes are a good team. They're going to capitalize on these chances eventually. And you got a guy who can stick handle a little bit, and you look at that goal and it just goes 5-hole on Reimer. No chance. He's dead to rights there. And again, the defense hung him out to dry. LeBanc hangs him out to dry at the very beginning of the play with the offensive zone turnover. So self-inflicted wounds again by the Sharks, not doing the yeoman's work to get the puck out with 23 seconds left in the second period, and that's what cost you the game. And with the Sharks, the talent level is so thin that they have these razor thin margins to win in a game like this. And, they piss away an opportunity, to get to that second intermission with the goal up. And, again, I think that's really where the bubble kind of burst. And, I mean, did you see anything on the goal, Dana, that you felt maybe the defenseman could have been in better positioning, or just heck, even LeBanc making a better reception of that pass?
I don't know. I think I agree with you that like the talent levels, people can only do so much. Like we've been beating the LeBanc horse for forever. I don't know. I mean, looking at the shot clock, like all period, like I feel like it was just kind of bound to happen. That's just kind of what I felt. Like it didn't really feel like I guess, Sharks were in the lead, but it was just kind of one of those like matter of time things. Reimer can only have so many, I don't know,
Yeah, you
can only have so many
so
times
many
like bailing him
saves.
out.
Yeah, only so many saves in them, right? And in that second period, the Sharks had to weather a couple of power plays from Carolina. And again, the Sharks did a good job, I think, on the penalty kill just in general. They held Carolina to just 3 power plays, a couple abbreviated ones because of getting some extra penalty. So the penalty kill still looks like it's carrying over from the previous season, which is good. But again, 5-on-5 play just leaves a lot to be desired. And especially when you're giving away a throwaway pass up the middle, in the slot, in the neutral zone, with the opposing team, having 3 guys up, where they are just able to pick that pass off and go 3-on-2. It's, it's going to kill you every time.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. Some people are saying that your volume is much lower than mine.
I think we got that fixed up. I had to go
okay.
Yeah, I had to go through and readjust a knob here.
Gotcha. Okay. Chat can let us know if it's all good.
Yeah, let us know, chat. But I did tweak a little bit, so hopefully it's a lot better for you guys and gals. So going into the third period, the Sharks basically had it tied up. The shot clock might have said something different as far as, the volume of shots, but, you're going into the third period 1-1 with a Carolina team that is, at this point should have probably been up by more. So you're thinking, maybe the Sharks have a shot here to extract some points. And I think through most of the period, it was pretty even, 10-8 shots in favor of Carolina. The Sharks did have 2 power plays and unfortunately would go over on those. And I think now is as good a time as any to talk about the power play. The power play goes 0 for 5 tonight, Dana. And you've got that number 1 unit of Hurdle, Meyer. You've got LeBanc, Couture, and Erik Karlsson all stacked on that first line power play unit, and nothing to show for it tonight. What were you saying
I know.
out there?
Yeah, Quinn made a whole thing out of really front loading the power play kind of at the start of the year, and it's like, okay, it's been 3 games, but it's like just the talent pool. Like, those guys are all good. Like, they should be able to make something work. And part of trading Burns was this whole like, oh, if he and EK65 both kind of fill this similar niche, then like having both of them on at once, isn't helping. So, fine, give Karlsson his space to run the power play, but it's not there. I would love to see one Ryan Merkley up on that power play, but I guess that's not the direction they're going in.
And I think you bring up a good point. Erik Karlsson's the alpha dog on the power play on the blue line, and it's his power play to run. He's quarterbacking it, and I'm seeing a guy that's timid to go into the corners. Every time the puck looks like it's coming down into the corner, he's not going to the boards. Clearly looks like he wants to play more of the periphery. A guy that is taking so shots, but I'm just not seeing a lot of creativity out of the guy. I'm not really.
You have to be aggressive.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a good crisp first pass. I'm seeing, the guys give up the puck low. My father remarked tonight, we were watching the game together. He's like, Carolina looks like they have all 5 guys playing when they're on the penalty kill. And that's just unsat from that first line power play. They got to want it. And I just don't see it right now. And again, maybe it's going to take a line shake there, or maybe it's going to take, placing a guy like LeBanc off and a guy like Cunnin on to get some more meat and potatoes on that first line power play, but they got to do something because this thing is just anemic.
Yeah, that's the word I would use. I don't know. Again, I think that there are some solutions hiding in the Barracuda, or at least maybe not solutions, but just things you can try. Like the thing with, the advantage with rookies is for the most part, like they're a lot more like motivated to prove themselves. I feel like there's just a lot of like lethargy with, I don't know.
No, I think you're absolutely lethargic is the right word. There's I don't really know how else to carve up that that first line, that first power play unit. I mean, in the second power play unit looked better than the first. They looked like they were driving play low. They were very, very meat and potatoes. I mean, I don't know that I particularly like Nick Bonino on the second line power play, because you took a look at his shot tonight when he was on that second line and just right to the leg pad of Rantanen, and the shot looked like it did not have much on it at all. So I'm wondering if maybe, Father Time's taken away a little bit from that shot from Nick Bonino.
He should not be on the power play. That's not ever been his gig. Like, we should have, I mean, I guess second unit fine, but like, I don't know. I can't blame the guy,
But Ricky, coming in quick on the chat, winning is counterproductive.
oh no, but I just want to see the babies play, okay?
Let the kids
but
play.
But like Ryan Merkley, like he's good on the power play, and he has room to grow. Like, I don't know how to like send a message to EK65 at this point. Like, I was about to hop on here and rant about how mad it made me that everybody was booing him, and I stand by that. But like,
he didn't give you much.
God,
he didn't give you much
power play.
Yeah, he didn't give you much to cheer for.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy. I'm sorry, but he kind of brings it upon himself at times. With some lackluster play. And again, I think just going to show on that first power play unit, not getting anything in 5 tries, looking anemic, lethargic, not ready to go. At this point, I mean, there needs to be some shuffling of the deck there. And I think maybe sitting Eric down and being like, hey, look, you're top dog now. I mean, there's nobody in front of you. You got to run with this thing. You've got to direct it. You should be telling which guy should be posting up, in front of the net. You should be telling, which guy is going to be directing from the back, who's going to be on the point ready for a one-timer. I mean, this should be where he shines. That he is a power play specialist and not getting it done. So
he didn't come here for a rebuild.
Yeah, that's what he says. But anyhow, like we had said, the Sharks unfortunately blow those couple of power play chances. They are able to fend off a few chances from Carolina's power play, and again, the shot total ended up being 10-8. But the third period goal comes from Sebastian Aho, 18:02 into the third period. So really just the gut punch type of goal with less than 2 minutes left in the game. And unfortunately, the Sharks just couldn't weather anything else at that point. You had one little burst at the end with Hurdle, 1-on-1 with the goaltender, coming in and driving a shot off the shaft of the stick. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to tie it up. But again, just a busted coverage by Harrington and Šimek with, Harrington and Carlson on the ice. I thought that was Šimek, but it was Carlson. Luke Kunin and let's see who else was on the ice with that one. I think we have LeBanc, Kunin, and I think Couture. So the second line's out there when you get scored on, and that's not a good look because, Logan's supposed to be, your shutdown defensive forward, the guy that's able to keep the games close, at this point in the game. And, again, Sharks just overmatched on that one. Sebastian Aho just able to get the puck in and get the 2 points for Carolina, and they are able to escape San Jose with the win. So, I mean, I don't know what you saw on that one, Dana, but to me, busted coverage again. I don't really know what the defense was doing on that one, but the forwards really didn't give them any help either. What'd you see on that one?
I mean, I don't think we should be shocked about any of this. Like, we don't really have a defense. Like, it's I guess Carlson, Ferraro, and then like a bunch of new people who's I guess Šimek. He's still here. But yeah, like nobody was it Aho who tipped it in,
Yeah.
right?
Aho
Yeah,
with the
nobody was there, and it literally broke my heart to see Reimer, like he's there, he's in position, turns his head, sees it went in, and his body language. It is James Reimer crying hour on this Teal Town After Dark here on this day.
Yeah, you're not
Um,
joking. I mean, you could see it. You could just see it in his um, uh, physical imposition. I mean, he just shrank after that goal went in, and he saw it, and he just kind of tilted his head like this. And I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be a long season for this poor guy. And did yeoman's work. 33 shots saved on 35 shots against. Great for a 943 save percentage. There is nothing more you could ask from the
oh my
guy.
goodness. Oh my goodness. It should have been so much worse. The fact that this felt within reach, um, yeah, is a testament to Reimer. I would genuinely be shocked if he even makes it to the trade deadline, still on this team. But I don't know what the Sharks are going to do with that space because, as you know, we don't need to get into it on the After Dark, but, it is. Mike Greer and management have made some questionable choices with the cap space from the Burns trade. Um, so it's like, okay, we can get something for Reimer, but do I trust management to do something with that space or assets or whatever? I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, Benning. Excuse me. It wasn't. It was not Harrington. It's Benning. So there's
Oh, okay.
all these new numbers. Number 5.
Right.
If we look down tonight at the ice time distributions, you've got Matt Benning coming in at 18 minutes. You've got Jason Magna coming in at 16 minutes. Mario Ferraro coming in at almost 22. Mark-Edward Vlasic 16. Radim Šimić 15:48. And Erik Karlsson at 24 minutes and 50 seconds. Almost 5 minutes and 45 seconds on the power play. Yikes.
You wouldn't know it.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
I'm curious, what was Burns' ice time for Carolina?
Burns. So if we take a look over on the opposition specs, Brett Pesce with 24 minutes. Brent Burns with 23:20. You've got Jacob Slavin with 23 minutes. And you got C-Jack with 23 minutes. Calvin DeHaan only had 11 minutes. And Chatfield had 11 minutes. So looks like what Carolina normally does is with pairs 1 and 2 will go for about 24 minutes each, and then their third pair is the reduced minutes pair, which is coming in around 11 minutes. So a good, nice distribution there.
They have 6 actual NHL defensemen.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
That a team can have.
Yeah, I mean, when you're looking at Matt Benning being a 7th defenseman at best, Jason Magna being a 7th defenseman at best, or an AHL.
He should still be on the Barracuda. I'm shocked he's here.
Radim Šimić being a shell of himself. Mark-Edward Vlasic being on the wrong side of 35. Yeah, I mean, what can you say about this defense? Like I said at the beginning, the Swiss cheese defense, and you feel for the goaltenders because Kaapo Kakinen's going to come in tomorrow night and going to see pretty much the same exact defense in front of him, and is probably going to look at something like 35, 37 shots on goal tomorrow
From
night.
Chicago?
From Chicago.
Oh, goodness.
I would not put it past the Blackhawks just to blow the doors off the Sharks right at this point.
If this is how the Sharks look on the first night of a back-to-back.
Yeah.
And they still somehow looked more energetic than they did in Europe, with the exception of Tomas Hertl.
Yeah.
Bless his heart.
Yeah, well, if we go down the rest of the stats tonight, the Hurricanes beat the Sharks in face-offs 53% to 48. The hits were 11-15 in favor of the Sharks. Blocks were 9-22 in favor of the Sharks. 7 giveaways for the Hurricanes and 6 giveaways for the Sharks. So overall, the blocks, giveaways, and hits columns go to the Sharks. But again, just not able to generate enough offense with 19 total shots on net to Carolina's 35. And that would be your game. And again, Sharks just looked a little rusty. Looked either a little rusty or just had Carolina's star power outshine at the very end. But the Sharks are 0 for 3 at the start of the 22-23 campaign. And don't look now, but that number one overall is starting to look shinier and shinier.
I mean, it's going to be, people say it's going to be a deep draft. So, if you, what is it? Some AJ said something like, if you shoot for Bedard and miss, you'll land amongst the, what's the second over? It starts with an A.
Antonelli, yeah.
And yeah, that one.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to get a good player whether you come in 1, 2, or 3. And I mean, this team, the way that it's constructed at the moment, I mean, it looks like it's constructed to get a high pick. That defense.
So then say so. My thing, though, is there's still like, what's rebuild? Spoons over my eyes. I don't see it. Like, I don't know. Just look at what it did for the Rangers when they just like fessed up to the fans. Like, it's not cute at first, but clearly it worked for them.
Yeah.
I don't know. How long can you say retool? There is nothing in the toolbox.
Yeah, I mean, and you look on the collection of players that they have. I mean, this just isn't a team with enough talent to compete. I mean, and you're looking at a division where you've got an up-and-coming Ducks team who's got some good young players on the rise. The same thing can be said with the Kings. The Kraken, of course, are slowly but surely adding pieces there. Vegas is Vegas. So
Jones had a great night yesterday.
I don't know with goaltending anymore. I just put my head down when it comes to goaltenders. But just kind of overall, I mean, this is shaping up to be a season in which the Sharks could very well end at the bottom of the Pacific. I mean, even being worse than the Coyotes if they continue this play as it is now, and especially with the lackluster effort on the power play. And again, hanging your goaltender out to dry. I mean, he makes 33 saves. You got to get more than one goal for the guy. And the big guys weren't there tonight. And it ended up being your secondary scoring, getting you the one goal that you did have. So it's concerning. It's really concerning. It should be concerning for a guy with the number 2 and 8 in it. Because he's got to have a big season for his contract. And right now, I mean, him and Hurdle are trying to do the yeoman's work. But again, you can't just rely on those two players. They need some additional help there, and they need some additional scoring. You got to have a guy like Couture or a guy like Limbaum or a guy like LeBanc. I mean, LeBanc is a guy that needs to have a good season this year, or he could be out of the NHL. I mean, if you can't make it on a team that's going to probably end up as either the second worst or the worst in your own division, I mean, there's not going to be a place for a guy like that who can't score and can't dish the puck and is continually having bad turnovers in the neutral zone, in his defensive zone. I mean, the guy's going to end his career prematurely with that kind of play.
Yeah, on any other team, he wouldn't even be in the lineup. Like, here's my thing. Like, I cannot be convinced that Eklund or Bordelot would be worse. And I understand trying to, like, protect them. But at the same time, like, if I were, in their shoes, I'd be like, look, I want to prove myself. I want to, and also the AHL is just full of, like, goons, like, I don't know if I think Eklund is the one where I'm like, I just really want to see him in the NHL. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. And sorry, I was having a total brain fart. Arizona's back over
okay.
in the Central. I was thinking Vancouver. But I mean, I'm just looking now at the Pacific Division, and again, the usual suspects are leading the division, and there are teams that are better than them in their own state. You know what I mean? So again, I don't know how you could think anything different with the collection of players that you put out over in that series in the Czech Republic, and how they played against a dominant Predators team. I don't think you could look at the roster and say that was going to be a team that was going to give Carolina any kind of fits. They did for maybe 2 periods or a period and 3 quarters, but after that, I mean, just the lack of talent again, the lack of depth again, just being the song of the day. And again, I think it's going to be a long season, Dana, but we got more of these to cover. We got another one coming up tomorrow night against the Chicago Blackhawks. What are your keys for tomorrow night's game, and how do the Sharks break out of this little funk that they've already started themselves in?
Gosh, just like there aren't many softer softballs in Chicago right now. So I don't know. Maybe I've heard people say with these pregame ceremonies, maybe it I don't know, makes the game more sluggish or something. Like, I guess there's going to be another pregame ceremony tomorrow, but like maybe like seeing DW will like inspire something in them. I don't know. That's my hope. I'm trying to think if I had anything interesting I wrote on my post-its during this game.
Yeah, well, let's go over Dana's post-its tonight. Dana, what little tidbits do you have for us?
This is irrelevant, but the new boards don't look as terrible as some of the like screenshots I've seen of other games where like y'all know like the new those
digital
boards where it'll right like I didn't catch anything egregious during this game, but I've seen some screenshots from other games where like it'll cover up like someone's entire body or like I don't know like one arm or whatever. It just looks ridiculous. I mean, I don't like them, but as with most things, like the ads on the helmets or whatever, like eventually we're all just gonna, there's gonna be something else to complain about, and we'll all just kind of get over it, which is fair. Is Jalen Chatfield? I was saying that's a great name. It sounds like a British lord. I don't know anything about that player. I didn't realize Stefan Nason was still in the league, and apparently he plays for Carolina. It's always really funny when you hear an like, oh, I haven't heard that name in a while. Wasn't he the one who like Hakuna Matata was his goal song?
Yes, it was.
I'll never forget that. Always have a special place in my heart. And yeah, I said like I got my wish about no OT because when Landy and I were doing our sound check during the second period, I'm like, I gotta get up tomorrow. Just hope there's no OT. And Carolina heard me.
Yes, they did. They came through in the last 2 minutes of the game.
Yeah, maybe that's why the Sharks just like flopped.
They knew that you had to get to bed.
Yeah, gotta get a good night's sleep. Yeah, I guess. And my thoughts on Chicago. Yeah, I don't know. Just like they are trying so aggressively to lose. They are trying so hard. So
what's going to give?
I don't know.
A team trying to lose hard, and a team that just loses hard. Who's going to lose?
Yeah. Yeah.
Goodness.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Battle of the bottom feeders. Let's go.
That's it. Sharks slumming it up with the Chicago Blackhawks. Well, in case you missed the show and you want to check it out again, check us out on the YouTube replay. Subscribe and check that notification bell to find us when we go live after every game. Of course, if you're a long time, you know that we go after every game. But of course, we're also up on the Apple Podcast, the Google Play Store, the SoundCloud, Spotify, TuneIn, iHeart, Audacity, and of course, always at tealtownusa.com. Dana, I'm going to give you your final thoughts and where the people can find you.
I mean, my final thoughts are the same as my first thoughts. I just want to give James Reimer a hug. Um, Ultimately, like, I don't know, it's just good to be watching NHL hockey again. Like, even when this team sucks, like, I'm still kind of smiling. Like, it's just it feels good to be back. It feels good to be back on here for sure. So I guess that's the one plus side is, that hockey's back. It's something to do. And I would just want to give an update on the post-it count. I had 4 for this game, 3 from the previous game, so we're up to 7. So just a reminder, the over-under for the whole season, all of my After Darks that I'm on, total post-its for the year was 70. So we're up to 7. We're 10% of the way there. It is not too late to put in your bets. I know generally a good odds maker would not let you put in bets after something's already started, but I'm making an exception. So.
Well, we'll see where people end up on the pool on this one. You After Dark listeners, you can set up a little pool, and maybe we'll have a little surprise waiting for you. Well, as far as my final thoughts go, the Sharks need to really tune it up tomorrow night. Need to bring some juice for Doug Wilson. It'll be good to see him back in the building, and we'll get a chance to see what he looks like, and make sure that that his health is in the right spot and stuff, and we can give him a nice thank you for everything that he's done. And I think there were a lot more good things than bad with DW's tenure. The team reached all the way to the last rung of the playoffs. They just couldn't finish it off. But every year he would try to get this team over the edge with just one more tweak or one more ad or bringing together a collection of talented players to really give it their all, and really good run under Doug Wilson. So it'll be nice to see him tomorrow when the Sharks play the Blackhawks. As far as where you can find me, you can use my first name, that's ERIK, and use my last name, LANDI, across all the social media garbage. If there's a social media platform, I'm probably on it. So come check
Be
it
real?
out. No.
I'm not on that.
I'm not on that one either, or TikTok.
I'm not on TikTok either.
Yeah.
Don't tell Puck Guy, because he keeps thinking that I'm gonna be the one to man the Teal Town TikTok, but I haven't gone on TikTok in months.
Well, yeah. Don't ask me about that one. I kind of lost the appeal of TikTok after a certain Island Boy video came out, and I go, this is the internet now. And that's about it.
I actually don't know what you're referencing.
Oh, don't look it up. It's bad. It's just,
I'm gonna look it up.
Oh no. Well, everybody, thank you for checking us out tonight. Again, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and check us out across every game, and check us out tomorrow night after we come live to you when the Sharks finish off their game against Chicago. So for everybody at Teal Town, USA, keep it real, keep it Teal, keep it real, Teal. Thank you, everybody, and have a great night.